All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob with Smirking Gun Reviews, and tonight we are going to try to at least start talking about a show that I just finished called The Haunting of Hill House. Before I get into this, I guess every once in a while you have to explain your channel, because especially when you're small. So just before we get into this, I do pretty brutally honest reviews. I don't do just recaps. And I do make it personal sometimes. Because it's not just a review about, oh, well, was the lighting good? Technical things. I like to talk about it and how it made me feel. And when I do my reviews. And I'm saying this because I just read a comment from my Man in the High Castle Season 3 review. And somebody called me shallow and that I should just stick to recapping because there was negativity in the review. And there was negativity in the review because I felt negative about the episode. I felt negative about the show, a show I like. And it was just honesty. And I'm not going to apologize for it. If I lose a subscriber who can't handle that, that's fine. But that's just what this channel is. You're not just getting somebody who's going to spew out whatever you want to hear. And that's important before going into this review, because this is this is an important review for me. I really am going to try to do really good at this one. So if you just are here to listen to a recap, that's not what this is going to be. It's going to be a pretty, I think, in-depth look at this show. And so that's just a warning. So anyway, don't mean to bring everybody down, but let's talk about The Haunting of Hill House, which, as of right now, first impressions, this is a masterpiece. This is, to me, an instant classic. This is easily the best thing I've seen all year, TV or movie, and that's including Infinity War, that I love. That's my favorite thing of the year, and this is better than that. This movie I will be talking about spoilers, but not for a while. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be talking about this. This may be split into 2 videos, maybe even 3. I'm not sure. Hopefully, if I do have to split this up, hopefully it's just 2. As I was watching it, I didn't know if I was going to like it, because I just don't really watch any kind of like horror, ghost stuff, especially when it's direct to Netflix. Because usually it's not that great, no matter who's in it. But one person in my house had started watching it, and I had heard something from somebody else, and it just kind of got me curious about it, without like realizing the background of any of it. But to get things started, this is created by Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan has just, in this show, has solidified himself as one of the greatest directors of television, of a show that I've ever seen. It's got some of the best writing I have heard in a long time. It's very good. There's a lot of good shows with writing these days, but this is up there. Mike Flanagan made Gerald's Game, that was also on Netflix, which was also very good. Not as big as this. He's also done movies like Hush, and he did like the second Ouija movie. I've never seen either of them, the Ouija movies, because just the topic along the Ouija boards just kind of bore me. But now I feel like I need to go back and watch it. The second one, the one that people said was good, that was directed by this gentleman. And it makes me want to look up everything else he's done too. There's a few things of his that I have not seen. This changes scary to me. I scary like shows, movies, everything, because TV's not scary. And for me, most movies aren't scary. Anytime you try something, it's not scary. You got the new Halloween movie coming out. Those kind of movies don't scare me at all. Guys, big, stupid psycho sadists with a knife who have this stupid grudge against people that kill people, like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. They're pretty much like cartoon characters. They're pretty much just it's silly. It's silliness. Even when they try to dress it up and make it like, oh, we're gonna go back to the beginning and we're gonna make it like whatever. It's still a dude with a knife, killing people for stupid reasons. And they're always petty, stupid reasons. I don't care if it was the kid got touched in his ding dong once and now he kills everybody he runs into. These kind of stories, ghost stories, are more effective to me because it's the unknown and it's with things that you can't reason with. Now you could say you can't reason with guys like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees and all those kind of psycho killer movies, but those are they're soulless, vacant, stupid ass killers, and eventually you can stick a dynamite down their pants and blow them up. They'll come back, but because they just make up their rules as they go along. They don't follow any kind of rules. In ghost stories, you can't reason with these things. You can't just blow them up. You can't wish them away. They're like a virus. They're like a sickness. And it's truly scary. Those kind of stories are truly scary to me because you can't do anything about it. I myself don't know if I believe in this kind of thing. And I'm also very afraid to think of these kind of things because to say that these things are real or means like a lot. It means that anything's possible. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that kind of thought process yet in my life. But it doesn't mean that I don't think about it. Like who hasn't been in a house late at night or, anytime really, or been somewhere where something just seemed wrong and you couldn't explain it. Whether you saw something, heard something, felt something. I've always been that kind of person who, whenever I felt something was wrong like that, or I heard something, or I felt something, I never pursued it because I just didn't want to know. The knowing was even scarier than not knowing to me. So I haven't watched anything like this in a long time. And so when I started watching it, I thought I was trying to have an open mind, and I was immediately sucked in. It's taken me 3 days to watch this because I work a full-time job. And I wish I could have just finished it in like 2 days. But to be honest with you, last night I binged about 3 or 4 episodes. I was watching it in my room, in bed, in the dark, total silence, with my noise-canceling headphones on. And I haven't been that scared in a long time. And it's not just some like, ooh, scary ghosts. It was hitting me on multiple levels of emotional distress. And it was making me not just think about the scares, it was making me think about the situation. And all of it was working on every single level. So much so that I was afraid to get up out of my bed to go to the bathroom for fear of what was in the dark. So that's how good this show has affected me. And I just finished the last episode a few minutes ago. And I really want to talk about it. First, what I want to touch on is, like I've already talked about, Mike Flanagan as the director. The writers of this show have been phenomenal. I have my tablet here to try to help me, but it's not behaving very well right now. And I'm trying to get the list of actors up, and I am about to throw this thing against the wall. So sorry. Okay, so the actors in this, every single actor in this gives an incredible performance. I'm sure there's a couple of people that are just like, extras or whatever, but every performance in this show, be it big or small, is very well done. The kid actors in this are incredible. The casting to match their counterparts as adults is unbelievable. The combination of Henry Thomas as the young father and Timothy Hutton as older Hugh Crane. So you got Henry Thomas as young Hugh Crane and Timothy Hutton as older Hugh Crane. They're not that much different in age, I believe, but they really did an incredible job of making one seem much older than the other one, much more haggard, but you could tell they were the same person. The eyes, I don't know if that's what Henry Thomas's eyes and Timothy Hutton's eyes look like, but they were mesmerizing. I know that's a small detail, but it was unbelievable. The acting by him was phenomenal as this father who is obsessed with fixing things, keeping his family together, keeping his family safe. It was all so believable. And I guess before I should just say that right away, is one of the greatest things about this show is that it was 10 episodes and an hour long each. And I thought, how are they going to do this? But the great part about that was, unlike like hour and a half, hour 45-minute supernatural thrillers where bad things happen to people because of, ghostly things, you can only care so much about these characters usually. It's usually like, God, that really sucks for them. Oh man, that's a shame. Oh, that's so sad. In this, you get to really feel for this family by having enough time to build these characters into not stereotypes or caricatures, but real people that you become invested in very, very, very closely. I became like this with this family in my head. I did not want to see anything bad happen to them, and following them on this journey was just incredible. I haven't been this invested in a long time, and I knew it was only 10 episodes and that this was it. But that's what's so great about it, is you never get stuff like this. And if it wasn't for the acting and the writing and the directing and all this could just be your run-of-the-mill Netflix ghost garbage crap fest. But every single aspect of this show is pretty much on point. There are tropes, but one thing there's not, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about this, but there's no stupid-ass jump scares. The scares in this all come very earned. The camera work does a lot of the same kind of camera work that you'd expect in this. Panning around, expecting there to be somebody behind you. And when they don't think there's somebody there and suddenly there's somebody there. That's not a jump scare. They do that camera trick a lot, but they also don't do it. They make you think they're going to. They mess with your head. They make you feel as unsafe as this family is by playing with your expectations of, oh, this will be where the scare is, and it's not. And it makes you even more scared because sometimes the scare doesn't come. And that's what's great. It holds you in suspense. So that way when the scare does come, it really hits you. And the scares in this are very effective. Very effective. I don't get scared. I don't get tensed up usually watching stuff like this. And I was as scared. I felt like I was as scared as the people in it. Now, clearly I wouldn't have been. Clearly those characters were more scared. But this show is getting a visceral reaction out of me that I haven't felt in forever. And so I just want people to know, like right off the bat, 10 episodes, yes, it was very necessary, and they fill them perfectly. So I want to talk about the actors. McKenna Grace, who plays young Theo, just excellent. Carla Gugino as the mother. Carla's gotten better as she's gotten older. Like, she just becomes a better and better actress. I had a thing for her way back when she made Son-in-Law back in the 90s, and she has just become an even better actress as she's gotten older. And one of the great things about her is she's got this incredible voice, and it fits so perfectly with this character that it's very haunting. Even, I almost spoiled some stuff early, but we'll get to that. Her voice is it can be soft and friendly and loving, and can be scary as fuck at the same time. God damn this thing. Seriously, this is what's going to take forever, is this stupid tablet keeps turning off on me and going back to the home screen. That's right. Keep going. There we go. I guess I'm going to have to keep messing with it. Michael Huisman, who plays Steven. You've probably seen him in Game of Thrones. He plays Dario Naharis. He's the oldest son. He's really good in this. Like I said, everybody's good in this. He has been like a writer. He capitalizes on the misfortune that they had as kids, and he writes like haunted house books. But he really doesn't believe in the things that he's writing about. Violet McGraw as young Nell. Oh my God, this little girl. Oh my God. She won my heart so bad. Just talking about her and her character and thinking about her character, she is just one of the sweetest little girls ever put on movies, TV, whatever. And this little actress just plays it full tilt. Victoria Pedretti as Nell, the grown-up version of her, is just as haunting as when you think about how she was as a kid and what she's become as an adult, and what she has to do in this show. The emotions that both the young girl and her old grown-up version have to play is just... I'd have to wait. I have to get the spoilers in to talk more about that. Lulu Wilson is young Shirley. She's really good in this, but she unfortunately has a little bit less to do. I think it's because of her character is kind of the... I want to say kind of pragmatic one. The one who's very solid. I don't have another word for it right now. Julian Hilliard as young Luke. Oh my gosh, again, this little boy with the little Coke bottle glasses. Oh my God. He was such a fucking little cutie, and he acted his heart out in this. That little kid was just so earnest in his performance. His older version, Oliver Jackson Cohen, while he is way bigger than his younger counterpart, his whole thing about his struggle with heroin addiction because of the things that have gone on with him was just as compelling as anything else in this show. Because while this show does have tons of scares, it has tons of humanity, and it shows what happens to people that live through extreme trauma. And these people live through not just supernatural trauma, but real emotional family trauma that can't just be wished away. And I'm gonna stop it here and do a part 2 because I'm already like 20 minutes in. So I'm going to go on and I'm going to finish the actors, and then I'm going to stop and talk more about the show on part 2. So Elizabeth Reiser as Shirley Crane. Now Elizabeth Reiser, she's in a ton of stuff, man, from Mad Men. She's on that other Netflix show, oh goodness, where it's like a bunch of interconnected stories, and it is escaping me right now. She is really great as she's a coroner as she's all grown up, and she's been the one kind of like keeping the family together, and she's always the one that's like the most serious, like she was as a kid, and she plays it very, very well as well. That, you know, the hard one that, you know, put upon, like she feels like, but, you know, at this point in her life that she can't take it anymore, that she's been trying to keep this family together for so long, and she's starting to unravel, and you can see it all over the performance. Kate Segal, who plays older Theodora, she's great. She's been in other things. She was in Gerald Game. She was in Hush. And what's great about her is, again, like the younger version, playing off this type where she always wears these gloves. And they'll talk about the gloves and spoilers. But she's like more of the odd man out in the family. And it partially has to do with that, the gloves thing, and how she's always kind of been not completely out for herself only, but she's protected herself quite a bit. She's also like the funniest one. So it's like, you know, the pain, you know, through, you know, comedy is tragedy, that kind of thing. She finds humor through her pain, I feel like. Paxton Singleton is young Steve. The way this kid plays, how he just looks up to his dad so much. And it follows through to adulthood, to where, you know, now him and his father are estranged, but you feel that missing part of him. But as a kid, that whole wanting to be so much like your dad and looking up to him, and it's just played so greatly. I feel like there's other really good people in here, like Annabeth Gish. There's a really, really good, solid supporting cast in this. I'm not going to get into them. I'll just say their names. Anthony Revivar as Kevin. He was great. Samantha Sloyan as Lee. Annabeth Gish as Mrs. Dudley. And Robert Longstreet as Mr. Dudley were just fantastic. Smaller parts. Catherine Parker as Poppy Hill. Fucking scary shit. Yeah. Okay, so that's it for what I'm going to talk about as far as the actors go. We're going to talk about the episodes in part 2. So I'm going to stop it here. Hopefully you tune into the second part after it's done uploading, and we will be back with part 2. So hopefully you guys liked this. If you did like this part, please hit the like button and all that other stuff. Otherwise, we will see you on part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye.